Chapter 3. Not Knowing as Starting Point. Having examined the limitations of conventional responses to the rise of AI, responses often mired in the very knowledge-based paradigms that technology increasingly masters, we arrive at the necessity for a different foundation. If competing within the realm of the known leads to a dead end, where else can we turn? The path forward, this exploration suggests, begins not with accumulating more knowledge or refining our thinking processes, but by embracing a state that might initially seem counterintuitive, even unnerving, the state of not knowing. This is not merely the absence of information, a temporary ignorance waiting to be filled by data or expertise. It is not a deficit to be overcome. Instead, not knowing, as we explore it here, points towards a fundamental capacity, a state of radical openness and pure potentiality that exists before knowledge solidifies, before concepts form, before the thinking mind asserts its structure. It is the silent space before the first note is played, the pristine white page before the first mark is made. It is the infinite zero infinity, not empty in the sense of lacking, but empty in the sense of holding infinite possibility. Distinguishing this state from simple lack of knowledge is crucial. When we merely lack information on a topic, our mind often seeks actively to fill that gap, searching, analyzing, questioning in order to find an answer. This is still operating within the realm of knowledge, albeit seeking to expand its boundaries. The state of not knowing, however, involves a letting go of that very seeking impulse. It is an active resting in the uncertainty, an openness to the unknown without the predetermined drive to conquer or define it. It is presence without agenda, awareness without an object firmly held in focus. From this space of genuine not knowing, something remarkable occurs. Questions arise differently. Instead of being demands for information hurled at the known world, what is the answer to X? Questions emerging from infinite zero often feel more like contours of the unknown itself. They are expressions of the mystery, invitations to deeper presence rather than requests for data. As explored in the recordings that inform this book, such true questions have a unique quality. When held with open attention, they don't necessarily yield factual answers but can dissolve into clarity. The holding of the question in the open space allows an insight, an understanding, a direct perception to emerge, one that doesn't merely add to knowledge but can fundamentally shift one's perspective. The unknown reveals a facet of its truth, not by being captured in thought, but by being allowed to unfold. This inherent capacity to start from not knowing, to dwell in infinite zero and allow authentic novelty to emerge, is arguably the bedrock of human creative intelligence, HCI, which we will explore more fully. It is the fountainhead of free creative flow. Crucially, it is a capacity that lies inherently beyond the reach of any artificial intelligence built upon algorithms processing existing data. AI operates on the known. This capacity operates before the known takes form. Therefore, this book extends an invitation, perhaps the most central invitation of all. It invites you, the reader, not just to understand the concept of not knowing, but to begin exploring it within your own experience. Where do you encounter moments of genuine uncertainty, where the path isn't clear, where familiar answers don't suffice? Can you meet those moments not with anxiety or an immediate rush to find solutions, but with a degree of openness, a simple curiosity? Can you allow yourself, even briefly, to rest in the space before knowing, simply noticing what subtle awareness, what quiet impulse, what unexpected question might arise from that fertile silence? This is not about achieving a state, but about recognizing a potential that already exists within you, the potential to access a source of creativity, insight, and authentic response that begins precisely where our conventional knowing ends. This is the starting point for the journey we will continue to explore.